Found out who my real dad was over 1 year ago and I'm still angry about it. Hi, my 23F, mother, 61F, hid my father from me my whole life. I never met him at all. I was the youngest of 4 kids, 2 older brothers and 1 older sister. They all knew their dads. My 2 brothers have the same father, then my sister had a different dad, so basically all of us are half-siblings. Only my 2 older brothers are fully related. So, I was given up to my grandma when I was born and my mom got me back at 8 years old. I never knew my dad. You can check my past posts, but my mom and I don't get along. I always asked her who he was because Father's Day was always ignored to me since I never had any father until my best friend's dad basically was my dad. One time when I was 9? 10? She gave me a book about traveling to meet a dad, like a childhood book. So I was so excited, then she never brought it up again. When I was 12 years old she told me his name was her, fake name obviously, and so I hunted for a decade. Anywhere on social media mostly. He didn't exist anywhere. Fast forward to winter 2023, early December. My cousin is in prison for fighting on multiple records or something like that. Well, he opened the can of worms cause I cried saying I was pregnant and wished my daughter could have a blood-related grandpa. Which he told me he knew my real dad and my aunts did too. My real dad is named Joe, fake name, and he died in 2014, but I was a result of an affair on his side, plus all my siblings are German and Irish and I'm the only Mexican and German one. Joe tried to see me multiple times but my mom avoided him, tried to abort me, and she made sure he wasn't on the birth certificate. I found out on Joe's side I have 2 half-sisters. When I finally found out I cried harder than ever cause I look just like him. My half-sisters too. He died in 2014 of cancer. I never got to meet him. I feel robbed. When I asked my mom to be truthful about it on Christmas, she finally confessed after I told her I knew. My whole life I was lied to about my own father and I found out he died. I still feel anger for it, and when I asked why she just says she didn't know. I'll never get reasons for it. My half-sister talked to me as well saying they always knew, but my second oldest brother told them to keep quiet. My other half-sister passed away last year as well. I'm just venting even if this is a year old because I still feel robbed and I feel anger towards my mother for it. It felt like I chased a ghost for a decade, and the worst part is I look so much like him. I look nothing like my mother, so now I question if she treated me badly because of it. Thanks for reading. Edit, fixed the affair mistake. My dad cheated on his wife at the time with my mom. If it was long going or a one-time thing, and I don't know why everyone blocked him from seeing me or knowing about his existence. My family is known to hide things to make my mom look good. They also said it'd just hurt me more, but from what I know about Joe was that he was married, had 2 girls, had a drinking problem at one point, got lung cancer in 2014 and passed the same year. Also, I didn't have social media until I was 13. I tried at 12 looking for my dad on my older sister's account, but again, no results. My mom was leading me to dead ends on purpose. Let me analyze this story for you. This story is a slow-burning heartbreak, a portrait of identity obscured by family secrets, of a daughter forced to hunt for pieces of herself through lies, silence, and the shadows of a man she never got to meet. It is a story of betrayal, not in the loud explosive sense, but in the quiet, lingering way that seeps into every corner of one's life and reshapes their understanding of who they are and where they come from. At its core, the narrator's grief is not just about the loss of her father, it's about being denied him. It's about being deliberately misled for over a decade, sent chasing a ghost with a fake name, offered symbolic breadcrumbs like a children's book about a journey to meet a dad, only for those leads to go nowhere. This wasn't an accidental omission, it was a sustained erasure of truth. And it came not from strangers, but from the people who were supposed to protect her. Her anger, still sharp a year later, is not excessive, it's righteous. Because her pain was preventable. The loss of a parent always leaves a scar, but the wound is deeper when that loss is laced with the knowledge that someone else made the choice for you. Her mother's decision to hide Joe's identity wasn't just a denial of a name, it was a denial of roots, connection, heritage, and the chance for a relationship. The mother's motives remain murky, and perhaps forever unknowable. Whether they were rooted in shame, fear, control, or self-preservation, they resulted in a profound injustice, one that the narrator is now left to carry alone. The tragedy is layered. Her father, Joe, wanted to be in her life. He tried. He was kept away. He died without her ever knowing him. And when she finally pieces together the truth, it comes not through the honest confessions of family, but through a relative in prison, further underlining just how dysfunctional and dishonest her environment has been. Even then, she doesn't get the full story. Only fragments, some from a half-sister, some from whispers, and most hidden behind a veil of "it would hurt you more." But that lie only served the comfort of the adults, not the emotional safety of the child. The narrator's description of being the only one of Mexican descent among her siblings, of never having her own Father's Day, of questioning whether her mother's coldness stemmed from her resemblance to Joe, these are subtle, cutting ways that isolation shaped her development. She was not just left out, she was othered in her own family. There's an implication of scapegoating, of being treated as a living reminder of something shameful or painful, even though none of it was her fault. What makes this narrative even more devastating is the timing. Her discovery coincides with her own pregnancy, a moment when she is on the cusp of parenthood herself, craving answers and groundedness. She yearns not only for her father, but for something ancestral and secure to pass on. Instead, she finds absence. Her grief is not just for what she lost, but for what her child will never know. And yet, there is resilience in her voice. She's angry. She's hurt. But she's seeking truth, naming injustice, and breaking the silence that shaped her life. That's powerful. Her story becomes a reckoning not just with her family's past, but with the future she wants to build, one where secrets do not rot under the surface and where truth, even when painful, is offered as a form of love. This story is a reminder that silence, when used to shield others from the truth, often causes far more harm than honesty ever could. It shows how lies of omission can create generational fractures, how the denial of one's origins becomes a lifelong wound, and how the search for belonging, when stifled by secrecy, can turn into a form of emotional exile. Her pain is real. Her anger is justified. And her determination to voice it is the first step in reclaiming a story that was never hers to begin with, but is now, finally, being written in her own words.